there's our face. Underneath that we'll have a neck.
Hello everyone and welcome to episode 2 of
like
how to make your
things.
very own 2D Vtuber
Make sure
set.
everything's on separate layers,
pretty much,
because you're going to want to be able to move things around. So anything that you want to be able to move around, you want to put on a separate layer.
Okay, there we go. There we
you're
go.
going to want to put...
I noticed just now that in the last video I did not describe how to actually save, like what to save as.
Each other, even though you won't be able to
in
see
Photoshop it should be the default, I think. In Metabang you've got to do something special. So you want to go to File, Save, and then here you'll see PSD. I don't know,
mess things up. So
I don't think all of the drawing things can save as PSDs, but this is what you would want to save it as. I'm not going to do that because this isn't the actual file. I made a new one real quick just to demonstrate, because I realized just now that I didn't do that last time. So hopefully you figured it out. But yes, it needs to be a PSD file, and that's how you'll save it. So next up, you're going to want to download some things if you haven't already. I use this one, VTube Studio. That's what I use for my, like, having it on screen. And Live 2D Cubism editor is the one. I think it comes with both the editor and the viewer. You're going to want these two things. If you just look up Live 2D, that should work. It'll take a couple minutes to download, but once you have that, just open up.
We're gonna be able to warp it too. So just putting this here, you don't have to just rotate it. You can also warp it to kind of bend in certain directions.
I've been using the free version. I don't want to start my free trial yet because I'm still figuring things out.
The shoulders as well. Usually, if you do that, you'd want just these two lines. So I might actually get rid of those. But
gotta wait for it to load. There's always a little pop up when it first starts. And there it is.
Rookie mistake. I am a rookie, so it makes sense that I'd be making those.
Whoop.
Let's see.
Wow. There's all sorts of stuff in here.
Got that now. I'm just gonna...
Well, I don't want that. I'm not doing that.
Around there.
Yeah, it just opened up a random file.
Now, we're gonna make...
Let's see here. We're not gonna click new. We're gonna click open.
This is the part we're gonna pay the most attention to.
And then you go to...
We're not coloring anything in here. I'm gonna make the eyes. They're gonna be separate.
Tutorial cat person. There it is. Gonna open that up. And as you can see, here's the art we made in the last stream. Looks like I messed up a little bit here on the lip, but that's all right. So first, what we're gonna do is we're gonna click on one of these,
symmetry tool in Metabang, apparently.
and then click this auto
apparently
button.
There isn't one. So there
then
isn't
just
a
click.
tool. You can just
do
that,
pick standard or deformation heavy.
It works.
I recommend just using standard when you're starting out,
and then just do the same thing,
because it's a lot more general and you can move pieces around. And this heavy deformation one just lets you be a bit more accurate with your edits.
And move it over.
You can change smaller amounts at once. I'm going to be using standard for all of them. So if you want to do the heavy deformation, you can, but I do recommend using standard when you're just starting out.
Then we just put...
And then just do that for everything.
Here, that's the mouth. And I'm just going to put it...
Some things you'll want a different preset, or you could edit all of this stuff, but I have never bothered with that because these presets have worked just fine for me.
I'm not doing this for adding detail and using all the time. Then you're going to want to make the inside of the mouth. Want it to... This is...
Doesn't take too long, but it can get a bit boring when you've got to click a bunch of things one after the other after the other.
Mouth as far as you want it to go, it'll still do that.
Next up, we're going to get
I probably
this.
should have been naming my layers here.
We've got our textures here. Texture Atlas 1. I'm not going to bother naming it because it puts it in a folder and it's fine. You don't have to worry about that. But if you do want to name it to keep it separate and figure out which thing's which, that sort of thing, you can do that. And I do actually recommend it for keeping your files sorted.
if you're looking from the direction...
I'm not going to do that, though, because I don't want it.
So I like
you should see something like this. If everything around these are squares, just like complete squares or rectangles, you're doing it wrong. You need to go back and click this auto thing on all of these separate pieces. If you just have the squares around them, the textures, they won't work right. Things won't work right. You won't be able to move them around. The warps will be incorrect. It'll just cause a lot of problems. So you've got to make sure everything looks pretty much like this, except for with the art that you made and not the other I made, obviously.
It's also just so you can
just click OK, and it'll download this. Okay, so what we're going to start out with is the eyes. I'm going to start out with the eyes. You just do, here's our pupils here. And actually, wait, no, we've got a little bit more setup to do. We're going to add warp deformers to pretty much everything. So we've got, just do L, brow. Make sure you name these because you won't be able to really, it'll make it a lot more difficult to keep track of things, so make sure you name them after the warp deformers. Pretty much what this will do is it makes it even easier to move things around the way you want them to. So just click L brow, create, and make sure that it is about the same general size around the thing that you're trying to move around. And then just move on to the next piece. So I'm just going to do all this real quick. As you can see, my left and right are switched because it's the character's left and right, not mine.
So
if you are here for this one and not here for the last one, and you didn't hear that part of the
add some hair so that we can experiment with how that works. That's too much. Okay, this is not working. I'm just gonna. So there's the front hair.
Having all of the things be separate parts is very useful. It allows you to
the hair in the back.
It allows you to more accurately move things around the way you want them to.
Actually, I'm gonna make it short.
However, you can also make it take a lot longer. And depending on how things go, this is either going to be an extremely short video or an extremely long one. I'm hoping to make it a pretty short one.
You don't want that to be super undetailed and bad looking.
Trying to hurry through this, but I do still want to explain things as much as possible.
I just did that so it's easier to see what's going on. There we go. There we go. Alright.
The pupils don't need quite as much of a deformer, but I'm going to add them anyway, because... It is important to add these warps to most of these, though, because you will need to move a lot of them around.
Make that part of the front hair, the bangs, but you don't have to if you don't want to. This makes it easier for me, but
the things that you need to move around are the things that need warps.
On the same layer,
pretty much everything's going to need to be moved, so
you can still warp it.
It's better safe than sorry in this case. You're going to want to just add everything, give everything a warp. I've never run into a problem with not having enough warps to use.
I'm not doing that.
The limit for the free version is 50.
Just making it for the sake of tutorials.
I've never really gone above like maybe 35.
Specifically, it's just kind of showing you how to the basics of how to make a very simple model.
It should be fine as long as you don't have a million separate pieces that you're wanting to add.
Tutorials on how to do that.
Adding warps everywhere won't be a big deal.
And I don't want to make
it's actually
difficult, so
best to add as
I'm just gonna try and make this as quick as possible. I'll hide the things that I've already colored in so that we can.
The names of these don't have to match exactly, but I'm making them match just so that whenever I collapse these folders, I'll still be able to tell what's what.
Remember, you do want to put some extra color underneath so that...
And it'll make it a lot easier, because
so that you can still move things around, and if you move something a little bit too far, it won't be as noticeable.
they take up less space, but they still have all of the things inside. And we're going to try our best not to move the actual things around. We're going to only want to mess with the warps, because if you mess with the actual things, it can make it hard to keep track of what stuff you've added these parameters to, which we will get to in a minute. So now we're going to want to put things into their own groups. So we've got
random blank spaces. They aren't too bad. They're usually
body.
not super duper noticeable, but
that's
they
the
can
one.
be.
Didn't mean to click that.
Many of those, or else
the body gets its own parent, which is, we're going to name it about main group. That ought to work. So the main group here has things like the body, the neck,
just
the
making
tail,
sure. It's good to double check,
I think, could be
because
added
I
to
mess
that.
up a lot and accidentally put the wrong thing.
Actually, pretty much everything is going to get added to this. We're going to add everything to the main group here.
Solid,
and this way, whenever the body tilts to the sides or moves, it will also move the things connected to it. And I might be messing up here, I don't remember exactly, but it's okay because we can fix it later. And I will try to explain what's going on if that does happen. So I'm just adding everything to the main group. And then to that, we're going to add things to the... Going to add a main head, main face group. Got our face group here. The head's going in there. The eyes, pupils, the mouth.
Sorry about that. I'm still a bit sick. I just coughed like a lot.
Nose. You're also going to want to add the hair.
Got the eyes set up.
And brows. So pretty much everything, actually. The tail and the
it's still blue.
Body and the neck are pretty much the only things you don't want to add to the face group.
Did not mean to do that.
And that's if you even have those things. So pretty much everything connected to the head,
the lip is
which just so happens to be most of the details on mine, are going to be in the face group. And if you have clothes, those would be just in the main group,
that covers up the open part of the mouth.
Or you could make a separate group for the body and neck. But this kind of just acts as a folder that makes the entire thing move on its own type of stuff.
In which case, I guess you don't have to do that.
We don't really need to be rotating this around, but it's alright. So next, what we're gonna do is add, as a child of this, or actually as a parent of the hair, we're just gonna add a separate hair section. I think. No, I'm not going to do that. I think you can do that. I don't remember, actually. So, first off, I'm just going to make sure this works. So, I'm going to add one of these. These rotate things.
The more time you spend, the better it'll look.
And
I'm trying to make
this will be a parent of the main group. Body tilt. We'll name it that. So this is when the body tilts side to side. You want to click and drag this, but as you can see, when I do that without doing anything else, it just moves the character around. You don't want to do that. You want to hold Control and then click and drag, and that allows you to move around where the thing is coming from. So I usually do it around the bottom center, and now you can do this. If you click and drag here,
alright,
it lets you rotate.
I'm just gonna quickly turn all
so we're going to go to angle Z, or no, wait. Body Z here, and add 3 points. If you can't do that automatically for whatever reason, you can manually put them in, click, 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 or you can add them through here and type them in.
This way it'll look more like a cartoon and less like a terrifying monster.
But I'm not going to do that because it's letting me click. So, yes, just click, click, click right there. And those are 3 different ways you can do this. So if you want to be more precise and add specific points on specific parts, you can do what I just did there. But I'm just adding these 3. So we've got in the center here is the normal one. You can click here right click to snap to the thing and to snap to the nearest one, and you can left click to slowly slide throughout them. So here is where we're going to tilt slightly to the side like this, and over here is where we're going to tilt slightly to the side like this. And once you've got that set up, you'll be able to move things around on the slider like that. And now your entire character can move side to side. So what we're going to do now, I'm going to add, actually, going to add a new parameter for the tail, or, yes, I'm going to add a new parameter for the tail.
So,
tail.
Let's make the inner mouth a better
wiggle.
Because right
tail
here it's not really.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep up.
This is only for if you have a tail, and we're not actually going to mess with that yet. We're going to leave that alone. So we've got the body tilt here.
The mouth that color.
Open up the main group here.
That
and
way.
The neck. I think the face group should actually be a child of the neck, if I'm remembering correctly. That way when the neck tilts, the face goes along with it, instead of just being separate.
I'm gonna quickly do that with the rest of the thing, just adding some basic shading.
We've got here
all around.
The neck is going to have its own parent, and that's going to allow us to rotate the head. So I'm just going to call that neck tilt. It's already in a pretty convenient spot, but I am going to move it down a little bit. Alright. And over here we're going to go up to angle Z. Add our 3 points. Oop, didn't mean to do that. I was holding control. And we're only going to move these over a tiny bit for this, because this is the neck tilt. We can also tilt the head individually, so by the time you have the body and the neck tilted to the side, it's already pretty far. And if you want to add a separate one for the head as well, that's going to be a lot of tilting, a lot of movement, and you don't want to go too far with that. So we're going to go ahead and add another of these to the face group. Head tilt. And oh, I almost moved it without adding my 3 points. That could have been bad. If you don't add your points here, then it will just change what the default is. So let's say angle, well,
I will be right back. I need to grab
if I was on angle Y and I forgot to set my 3 points,
right here,
and I moved it over to here to move over to the side or whatever, to look over to the side, then it would always be like that no matter where on here I put it. And you don't want that, because then it'd look kind of strange. I'm gonna move that over a bit. So now the neck tilts a bit and the head tilts a bit whenever you tilt your own head. And I'm not sure why the tail is a part of the face group. That shouldn't be there. So I'm just going to drag that up to here.
Okay, I have returned.
And add it to the body instead.
So hopefully I won't keep doing that.
There we go.
Wasn't that great?
So let's say we're going to go all the way over this side.
Sure
as you can see,
unpleasant to listen to.
We've got our head tilt and our body tilting to the sides. So now we're going to have the looking in different directions. What you're going to want to do, go to the neck, go to the head, face group here,
I've heard that some
and go to angle Y first. We're going to do angle Y. That's looking up and down. So you add your 3 points. This is all the way up, and this is all the way down. You don't want to get them mixed up. This is higher on the scale, and this is lower. So this is going to be looking down, and this is going to be looking up. If you get them mixed up, then your character will do the opposite of what you do in the camera tracking. If you're using it for camera tracking, you can also use it for animation, I think, but I don't know. Next up, once you've done that, you're going to want to kind of rotate it to the side, and you may be thinking, wait, this is a 2D image. How do I do that? It's just going to move. Well, that's what the warping is for. We're going to put that over there, and put that over there.
Okay, what's wrong this time?
You want to use the green points. The red points will just move things around.
It's probably behind the hair.
But the green points make things look like they're rotating. So now...
Okay, it's in front of the hair now. Let's try that again.
Looks like I've moved the head over to the side a bit. And I accidentally clicked off of here, so I'll just fix that.
And eyebrow 2. Second eyebrow. This is the left.
There we go. So we're looking over to the side.
Eye there. I'm just gonna put.
Now we'll just do that with this side too. So we've got our.
Got the right ones. Yep.
Sometimes the red and the green are right on top of each other, and it's hard to tell what's supposed to go where.
As L.
But that's a pretty easy fix. Because if you just...
It looks like it's R right, but it's their left. So.
Just move this and then click the undo. If you move the whole thing and then do Control Z to undo. I'll put the Control Z into the chat just so you can...
So we've got the model made. Now I'm going to make the ears. I'm going to make some quick cat ears. You don't have to do this.
That's a pretty well-known thing, but if you don't know, that's how you do it.
I'm doing this just for people that
is a problem. This little line, that should not be there. I don't know why that's there. I'm going to fix that, and I'll show you how to fix that soon. There is a way to cover that sort of thing up, especially if you've got something in front of it already. So this lip, all I have to do is drag it over to the side a tiny bit. But I'm not going to do that right now because I don't want to.
And then you can warp it as you please.
We've got our angle Y here. And it does look kind of strange still. So what I'm going to do
up to the top so I can see what parts I'm coloring.
Just move it over a bit more.
I need to make it go a bit further or not. And then color it in.
See what I did there. And the way I've worked it makes it look like they're looking to the sides now.
With me here for a couple minutes.
You can also make it look like your nose is 3D. So I'm going to add my 2 points.
That's a bit of an inconvenience.
Wait, 3 points, sorry. Move this, move that, undo. It actually does not really need to move here. And then once you go over to the side, all you've got to do is...
And last but not least, coloring in the ears. I've got the ears here.
These small gray points, they let you move things more precisely, but they also do give you less control over it because if you move them all individually, it can get hard to keep track of everything. So I recommend just sticking to using these more general green points at the start. But if you don't want to do that, you don't have to.
Them being the right shape type of thing.
I'm actually going to rotate this one a bit so that it looks like it is
you can always make another one
pointing straight down.
It's super easy to do, but it's not like super
and then
hard
as you turn around, it looks like your character's nose point thing is also turning.
Editable file.
And it kind of lets you tell like what it's supposed to, like what position it's in. To add that extra bit of 3D
but I still want it
effect.
To look nice when I'm done, so I have something to look back to and be sure
like so. You don't have to do that, but in this particular art style, I find that it does make it look slightly better. But that's up to you, really. It depends on what you think looks the best. Next, we're going to add the angle X. Wait a minute. Oh, I got them mixed up again. Okay, so that's a big problem. See, so I'm gonna don't do what I just did. Angle X is side to side and angle Y is up and down. I always get these mixed up.
There we go. That should be good enough.
Okay.
Then I'll do
Let me see
pretty
here.
much the same
Can I
thing
edit
tail.
parameters? Param angle
Got our cat tail
X.
here.
Okay. What's this one? Edit parameter. Param angle X. Strange.
Alright, so here's the
I'm
last
thinking
thing
I can
keep
probably
making this mistake, and I really need to fix it. Is I keep naming things incorrectly. You see, when you merge layers down, they actually lose their name. They take the name of the one on the bottom, not the one on the top. So I'm gonna have to rename this.
So now,
it should be pretty quick.
I'm not certain, but I'm pretty sure that this has now just switched them, because I've changed the IDs and I've changed the names. I mean, technically you wouldn't have to change the names, but then it would be confusing even more. So yeah, just try and remember X is side to side and Y is up and down. I'm hoping that fixed it, but if it didn't, that could be a problem. I always make that mistake. Yeah, don't do what I just did, pretty much. I'm sorry if you followed along and then messed it up there. But I'm pretty sure what I just did just now should have fixed it. And if it didn't fix it, then it's not too difficult to redo that. But just make sure that you double check and notice your mistake before you move on to the next one, or else it could cause some problems. So now we're going to go to angle Y, add our 3 points, and we're just going to make them look like they're looking up now.
Alright,
so
we've got all our parts here. You're going to want to name these.
Do that.
That is going to be important. So,
move the whole thing. If your mouse cursor is next to the moving symbol, that means that you're moving one of these green points.
You don't have to
or one of the gray ones. I think the gray ones also do that. Yeah, the gray ones also do that. They just have a square instead of the moving symbol. And this just has the moving symbol. It doesn't have the mouse pointer. So that's how you can tell which one you're moving.
Don't worry too much about that.
I always have difficulties making it look like they're looking up.
Look, I've already named those.
Because that does not look good.
Yep.
R.
Head. Body. I'm actually gonna do something real quick. I shaded the
Let's see if I can figure it out. But if this ends up looking bad, just remember that you don't have to do it exactly like I'm doing. You can still use your own
it's going to be more difficult
ways of doing this.
Why you want to
but it doesn't look too bad. It's not the best I've ever done, but
I don't have to be too careful.
And of course, I flip-flopped them. So this was actually supposed to be looking down.
Now I have to draw over the lines on this layer instead of underneath of them. I have to.
I don't know why I keep doing that.
About where I'm putting my.
Oh wow! I messed it up really bad. I made it so that the default is looking up, and
it's not a big deal.
Okay. Yep. Okay. I'm tired. This much is clear. What you're gonna want to do is go to one that you haven't changed. If you make a mistake like that and you haven't changed all 3 of them yet, just go to one that is still the default and click this button. That'll wipe off all of the stuff that you just did. And now moving this around doesn't do anything. So just add your 3 points back.
Just gonna erase the body.
And then do pretty much the same thing that you just did and whatever. I mean, unless you didn't make that mistake, in which case continue. Just, I guess, wait for me to be done and then I'll move on to the next part.
These parts of the hair. So you want to at least try and keep that visible, like make it look as purposeful as possible, pretty much. Fake it till you make it, that sort of thing. it's still not as big of a deal as it would have been if I had messed up on the eyes or something that's very visible all the time.
Okay. Yeah. But see, it wasn't too bad.
The hair is only visible some of the time when you shake your head around and stuff, and it flings over to the sides.
Now here is where that nose thing really helps. You can put the angle Y.
I should have made the ears separate. It's not going to cause too many problems, but
making sure we're on the correct spot this time.
I'll just have to change the way I do things for that part a little bit.
I'm gonna change these bits here.
I believe we are done. I would ask if anyone had questions,
make the nose
but I'm not sure if anyone's actually here.
I'm actually gonna just flip it upside down.
If you have questions and you're watching this after the stream has gone, go ahead and put them in the comments. I will be making a part 2 soon that will explain how to rig it very briefly. I will do a general.
How did that happen?
Like, what does this button do? What does this
I
button
don't think
do?
that was supposed to happen.
Just so pretty much all the programs I'm going to use here are free.
I'm gonna do here.
All of them have paid versions.
Not do that.
So you can pay for the pro version if you think this is something you really want to do.
I don't really know what it is that I just did.
But I'd recommend, if you can, just use free trials.
So kind of you can just play around with it until you get something that you like.
A lot of the things though, you don't really need
that
the pro
happens
version.
to me.
You can just use the free version and it will work just
messing
fine
around
for
a lot.
what you're gonna need to do. The pro version is for like.
So hopefully that didn't do anything weird.
Things that
it looks kind of strange in the in-between sort of area, but aside from that,
messing around. So my tutorial is going to be more towards people who don't have those. So you just using the free versions of everything. But yep, there's our
unfortunately
model.
I do spend a lot of time looking slightly up,
if you have questions of what to do on the
we'll have to continue messing around with this
more
part.
Parts, like if you want to add clothes and stuff, if you want to add
that's okay though.
A tongue or something like that, you can.
I think I just fixed it.
It will make it slightly more complicated, but you can still.
I think no matter what happens, I'm gonna have
you'll have to spend some more time. I don't know how the tongue works because I've never made
what
a
did I
model
just
do?
do?
But I can try and figure it out if you want to be able to like stick out your tongue or something.
Okay.
That sort of thing. Yes.
Oh,
that's the end of it. Goodbye. Have a good day.
Again, you don't have to mess around with the nose if you don't want to. Usually it still looks fine whether you mess around with it or not.
Goodbye.
And then for this part of angle Y, just move this, undo, move it back to where you want it to go. This one I find to be much easier because you can do something like this. Maybe not that drastically though. You're gonna want to be a bit gentler with your movements on your model here. Whoop. But yeah, pretty much just experiment until you find something you like. And that'll usually work out. Yeah, see, we've got a bit of a problem here because it gets very squished when you do this. If you want to do that, you can just remove that point specifically. Or maybe not. There we go. Remove this point specifically, and then just click the 3 points thing again. Oh, never mind. Oh, wait, no. Yep, that works. That works. Remove this point specifically, click the 3 points again. It won't get rid of the 2 things that you already had set up. So you can pretty much just reset the one that you didn't like. That's how you avoid having to press undo, undo, undo over and over again. Pretty much. That ought to work. I don't usually look down that far anyways, so. Okay. Next up, we're going to want to link these. Oop. It's fine. You're going to want to link these two. So now, oh, right. After you've linked them, you're going to go up here and click Synthesize Corners. And I'm about to show you why you've got to do that. It's because before, if you go to the corners, they just go to the very side. They won't go to the corners. So if you were to look diagonally, it wouldn't pick that up. Instead, you want to synthesize corners. Just click OK here. And now it'll automatically decide where your character will look, and that makes things save a lot of time. I am going to adjust them slightly so that the noses look slightly better. So now they're going to be facing in a similar direction each time. As you can see here, on the corners where it goes up, it does go up a bit too far. Yet another reason why you want to go back sometimes and edit them individually. This does still significantly speed up the amount of time that you've got to spend on this sort of thing. So now that should look pretty good. You've got our basic head set up. Next, you're going to do the eyes. The eyes themselves are not going to happen yet, but we are going to do this because you need to copy this. The ID. You want to copy the ID. This one's warp 10. Wait, no. Wait, don't do that. Open up these. We've got the white parts of the eyes here. You want to copy the ID of the drawing itself, not the warp core thing. Don't want to copy the warp, but the eye. So then, make sure you match it up. So IL, pupil L. Then paste that into this section, the clipping ID section. Now, when you move around the pupil, it'll always stay inside of this circle. And it won't just go all over the place. Then just do the same thing with the right eyes. So our mesh 7, our mesh 7. There you go. Now we're ready to move the eyes. We're going into the eyeball area. Got eyeball X and eyeball Y. As you can see, there's only one of these, probably because usually they're not expecting you to be moving your eyes individually, aside from maybe like being cross-eyed, but that doesn't happen very often. That's not an expression people are generally making. So you've got just one eyeball X, one eyeball Y, and not like left eye X, left eye Y, right eye X, right eye, right, words are hard. Okay, so we're gonna go to the pupil R warp and give it its X. This is to the sides. I'm remembering this time. This is what it looks like when they're looking straight forward. This is what it looks like when they're looking all the way to that side. And this is what it looks like when they're looking all the way to the side. We're going to do the same thing with pupil L. add your points. Side. This side. And now. There you go. We're going to do the same thing with Y. So add your points all the way up, all the way down, points, up, down. You can also link these and generate corners. Make sure you do this for both of the eyes. Generate corners and do it again with this one. If you don't do it for both of them, then one eye will go into the corners as it's supposed to, and the other one will just stay on the sides, and that can cause problems sometimes. You can also make the pupils change sizes, but that is something you'd want to do separately. So, for example, if you, I don't know, whenever you breathe, your eyes get smaller. You'd want to add that to its own separate thing. But since I'm using the non-paid version, I would have to do that to this specifically instead of adding it to the warp. Or I would have to give it a new warp parent in order to do that one specifically, separately. Because then I would be able to have more than two. Because even though these are linked, they still count as being two separate parameters. So you can't have any more than two on the free version. But on the paid version, you can have 3 of them. So next up, we're going to add the breathing. And that, yes, that is on the body. Keeping the tail out of that, though. So for the body warp here, going to go down, all the way down to breath. And this time we're going to add only 2. We're not going to add the 3 here. We're going to click this button and add 2. So here we'll have breathing in has slightly, the breath is in, so they haven't inhaled as much. So it's in a bit, and the shoulders will be resting and down. And then here, the shoulders will be up slightly. And they'll be all full of air. So we've got our very slight changes there. Gonna add a little bit more there too. And now, in the modeling section, you go up here, go to physics settings at the bottom of this drop-down menu, and you can see it'll automatically be breathing now at a pretty steady pace. I actually don't like how much this has zoomed in, so I'm just going to go back here and edit that. Then you can just go back and check. There you go. Got breathing set up. That was pretty easy, right? So yeah, it'll just do that by itself. You don't have to change anything else to make it breathe. I'm not completely sure if you can change the rate it breathes at. Like, I don't know if you can make it breathe slower or faster. You could also use this just for other things, like if you want the tail to move around just kind of all the time, and you want it to do that all by itself, then you could use the breath thing, and instead of it being breathing, it's something else moving around all the time at its own little pace. So now we're gonna make the tail go. I'm gonna put it on tail wheel here. This is just a parameter because I'm gonna use physics for this. So this is pretty much just gonna be a basic in the physics. I'm gonna check actually how long this video has gotten. Only 45 minutes, that's not so bad. Alright. I was expecting it to take a bit longer to get to this point, but we're doing pretty good. We've got our tail wiggle here, and we're gonna select the tail, add 3 points on the tail wiggle, and do. So in the middle, we've got just it's not even showing, so you don't really have to do much with it. Then all the way over here, we've got keep messing up. And I'm also going to move the tail itself a bit, so it's going to curve at the end now. So now it curves as it moves. This is just something so that the transition from one side to the other is a bit smoother. And then all the way over here, we're just going to bend this a bit more. Bend it around. Not really sure what I did wrong here, because something is not going the way that I was expecting it to, that's for sure. Here's where we can get into the physics part of things. So we go back up to modeling, physics settings. I'm going to add a group, and I'm just going to name this tail. I'm going to do triple pendulum hair, I guess. So we've already got this set up. You don't have to do that. There are options here. If you change your mind, you can pick any of those, or you can customize it yourself. I myself am not really an expert on this part, so you're going to want to test things out, figure out what kind of things you like. You can also add presets, but I'm not going to bother with that. So here we've got the input is angle XYZ and body XYZ. Turn the effectiveness all the way up on as many as it'll let you, I guess. Currently it seems that is only those two. And then for the output settings, just add your tail wiggle. So now, I haven't set it up to move. That's strange. I did make the face move, didn't I? Yes, I did. This is strange. It does it in this version, but in the physics settings area, it doesn't. Usually if you click and drag, it moves things around, like how it's doing with the eyes. So I guess I need to do a bit of troubleshooting. I'll bet it's because I messed up the angle X and Y earlier. Duplicate parameters. Whoa. Okay, I'm gonna undo that. Edit parameter. Let's see here. Did I mess something up? Is that why? No? I'm gonna unlink these, see if I can do it now. Well, and as you can see, even the custom parts that I did on here are still working. So unlinking them doesn't seem to change anything. The modeling is what I'm a bit confused about, and the physics. I wonder if it's because my inputs are all... I've added so many. I'll just add, as the input, angle XYZ. Turn the effectiveness all the way up on angle X and Z. And then output, the effectiveness is all the way up on those two. It's good. It's still not moving. There we go. You can see here it is working now. I've just got to figure out why the head isn't moving whenever I tell it to. Sorry about that, I'm just trying to figure things out here, because okay, that didn't work either. Sorry about this, I'm trying to figure it out. Maybe I got them mixed up. Tail wiggle as input and output is XYZ, perhaps? Nope. Figured that much. I was sure that I'd done that. Let's see here. I'm not sure what's going on. Usually this works. 'Cause... oh, right. I changed that. I don't know what's going on here. Okay, well, I see that someone's watching. Hello. You've kind of joined in the middle of things, and I'm trying to figure out problems, so if you want to go back to the beginning, then that's cool, and just put in the chat if you have any questions. I'll try and answer them. I'm troubleshooting right now. I've caused some problems for myself, and I don't know how to fix them. So the best thing to do in this scenario is hide it. Just make that problem go away. And we're just gonna work on something else until I figure out what's wrong. Oh, another person. This is wonderful. Hello, other person. If you want to go back to the beginning, that's probably for the best. And if you have any questions, put them in the chat and I'll try and answer them. If that's how it works. I think that's how it works. What I'm doing is I'm going to put the hair. So hair move front, put our 3 points to the side. Don't want it to go to the side too far, because we don't want to hide the face, and we also don't want it to look super warped and weird. I'd say that's probably pretty good. Because this is just like, you've got your head shaking around and the hair is pretty much just going wherever it wants to, because it does that. You want to try and make sure that you're not bending things in a way that they get larger or smaller as they move, because then that's like really unrealistic. And I guess if you're not going for realism, that doesn't matter quite as much. But it's good to try and keep things being the same size as they move around, so that they're not like actually warping around in size randomly wherever they want to go. So we've got our bangs are wiggling around wherever they want to go now. We're just going to do the same thing for the hair move side. We're adding our, as far as it'll go here, and on this side as well. Like that. And then on this side we're going to do pretty much the same thing, just mirrored. And if you want to make this a bit longer, if you accidentally made these go a bit too much, then they have a more natural sway to them instead of just moving side to side all alone. They kind of go up and down, they have a bit of a sway, they'll be more realistic looking when they move. And then finally, the hair in the back. Once again, we're doing the same thing. To the right. Oop, didn't mean to rotate the whole thing. And then to the left. Take it back now, y'all. And that's as much as I'll do, just in case it's copyrighted. And here we go. Once again, I'm making this slightly longer so it's got more of a sway. And fixing up those final little details that don't look as good as I would like them to. There we go. Now we're going to do pretty much the same thing as we did with the tail. And actually, I'm going to remove that tail wiggle because I'm going to make it just be part of, the, yikes, none of those look all that good, do they? Alright, let's see here. That's still the default, at least. So I'm just going to move that back, and I'm going to make the tail wiggle go away permanently. Yes. And we're going to put that into breath instead. So now, I'm going to add 3 spots. Oop. 3 spots onto the breath. Right now it's all the way to the side, so I'm just going to give it a bit of a curl at the end. Make sure it doesn't go off screen, or else it won't load in. It won't look like a full entire piece of you when you load it in to the Vtuber Studio. Then move this to the middle. Oop, didn't do that. Move that to the middle like we did before. It's pretty much just going to look the same as it did last time, just it's going to be in breath instead of the other way with the custom one. if you can figure out how to make the custom ones work, then that is great, and it'll probably make things much easier for adding custom little animations and stuff, but I do not know how that works, so we're just gonna stick to this kind for now. And here we go. Now the tail moves around on its own. I don't particularly like the way this looks though, so I don't really like this side. I'm gonna test it out though, see how I like it. I'm gonna go into physics settings. That's not too bad. We've got it wagging around all the time. And that could get a bit annoying. I can see how people would be annoyed by that. But this is just kind of an example of, if you wanted to do something like that, this is how you would do it. And while we're here, I'm gonna get rid of this tail one. If it'll let me. Okay, it won't let me get rid of that tail one. So forget that that's named tail. We're actually gonna pretend that that's not a tail, and we're gonna instead make that into the hair move front, side, and back. So now the head still won't move. Now whenever we move the head around, the hair jiggles around a bit. Ta-da! So you've got that beautiful little animation going there. Got your hair moving. Not sure why the head still won't move all on its own, but that's a problem for future me. I'm thinking it probably has something to do with the neck tilt, but I can't be certain about that. I'm going to test it just to make sure. So for the input settings, I'm going to add wait a minute. Nope, the neck tilt can't be it because that's part of the head tilt. It's part of it. It's part of it. Right. Brows. We're doing the eyebrows next. Who needs to be able to move their head to the sides anyway? Right. So, I'm not actually completely sure what the angles are that we're going to need for this. So what we're going to do, we've got brow LY and brow LX. And you might be thinking, wait a minute, I'm seeing a lot more things that go for these brows, and they're not, you can only have two for one thing. What am I supposed to do here? That, my friend, is what you do when you just add more deformers. You add more of them. So we got L brow form. And we've got L brow angle. There we go. So L brow form, L brow angle, and let's just see the regular old L brow for the X and Y. So first off, we're just going to do the X and Y. Remembering X is side to side and Y is up and down. Brows can't really move side to side. Not really sure why they did that, but we're going to do it anyway. So don't move it around too much or else it'll just look strange, but you know, do what you want. If you want your eyebrows to be all the way off to the side, then you can. It'll probably look kind of strange. And then go up, go down. There you go. So now you can, I'm actually going to move these and link them and synthesize corners. So now it can move, wait a minute, what did I do wrong here this time? Unsynthesize corners. So Y is up and down, right? X is right and left, right? Synthesize corners. Link. Synthesize corners. And then I don't know why it's going around the wrong way. Because when I go up and down, it goes left and right. Oh, I know what it is. It's just that I've ordered them strangely, so it's... Okay, so there's up and down, there's left and right, and here's our square. Alright, there you go. It's not too bad. We're just going to do the same for our brow. Add your other deformers. We've got our brow angle. Whoop, that's not right. Angle and our brow form. I'm just making them be separate because, well, I want to, I guess. You could probably have the form and angle on their own things, but you don't really have to. If you run out of parameters to add, if you can't add any more warp things, then try and just cut down on these extra ones that you add. If there are any that you don't really need that aren't attached to any parameters or something, then those are the first ones that would need to go. So I'm just gonna put the R brow form is actually going to be swapped. We're gonna flip-flop them. Okay, so the form is actually the angle and the angle is actually the form. I don't know why this is, but that's the way I learned to do it. So that's what we're doing. Brow RY goes underneath brow RX. Right now we're just going to do the X and Y's. How about that? So, I'm going to go, and if you want it to match, then just put this other one all the way as far as it'll go up, and then also move this one to match. So that way they'll look the same and they won't be like lopsided. You won't have lopsided eyebrows unless you want lopsided eyebrows, and then you can have lopsided eyebrows. That's up to you, I guess. Then do the same thing here. Move it down as far as this one with your side to side. I still don't know why they want you to do that, but whoop. What's happening here? Whoop. Oh wow, I just messed up so many things. Alright, well, I guess we just get to do it again. So X goes all the way to the right, then all the way to the left, and then all the way up, and then all the way down. There you go, and then just put them in the middle for fun. Alrighty, we've got our brows set up. Just gonna link these, synthesize our corners here. Voila! I appeared. There we go, there we go. We've got our brow R angles and our, okay, we're doing L first. Brow L angle. We're actually going to go down to brow L form here. So just, don't want to do that. You want to make sure you add your 3 dots. So, we're going to do that. And then for this one, we're going to do that. Do the same thing with this one. All the way up here is this. Up here is this. Then finally form. Wait a minute. That's brow L form. We don't want that. So, we've got our L brow angle here. Gonna fix that little mistake we just made. Or the mistake I just made, I guess. You guys might not have made it. So, then we've got our brow R form. Make sure to go on to angle actually for this, but our 3 spots. Do that. That. There you go. We're actually not going to link these ones. We don't want to link these ones because they do weird stuff like that. It would just be confusing. I guess you could, but there's not much reason to, I feel like. So just don't bother with that, I think. Unlink them. Just, oh my goodness. Okay, I've got to look something up. Control Y. Sorry. Control Y. Is that a thing I can do? Please? Okay. Okay, well, I keep messing up. It's almost as if I'm tired or something. So, what? Oh, right. Brow angle. Wait, but then why? Okay, well, brow R angle. Well, I feel like my arm just got broken by, I feel like my muscles are being pinched by my bones or something. That hurt. What was that? Okay, well, it's over now anyways. It's whatever. My arm just started feeling really weird all of a sudden. I don't know what was up with that. But I'm fixed now. It's fine. We're gonna add our points. Hopefully this is the last time we have to do this. I'm not even gonna bother matching it this time. Don't bother linking them. Don't link them. That messes things up apparently. Don't link these ones. And then finally, brow form, which was actually brow angle for some reason. I still don't know why. Maybe I'm just remembering incorrectly because this doesn't seem right. But who knows? We're gonna make this one be very, like, crunched. We're gonna make it crinkled and crunched and generally concerned, I guess. I don't know, what expression is this? It's kind of, I mean, it's hard to tell because I'm crinkling up the eyebrows so much. this time I'm just gonna there. There we go. So now I just do pretty much the same thing with the other eyebrow, the other brow angle, add our 3 points, bring that up, bring that up, and bring that down. And then we're gonna do our strange, confusing eyebrow trick. This is probably a point where we're using those little gray spots are going to be a lot easier to use than the green ones because they do allow for more precise changes. Good enough. Not good, but good enough. I stole that from north of the border, I think. That's what it was called. Anyway, let me see. Has physics magically fixed itself yet? Nope. I don't know what's up with that. I would look up a tutorial, but I'm making a tutorial, so that really doesn't. That doesn't sound right. That would be rude of me if I were to look up a tutorial while making one. Perhaps I was not ready to make a tutorial yet. It's strange. I've made like 4 of these things, but then the moment I try and make one in front of people, it's like all of a sudden I've lost all memory of how to do this. Alright. In that case, we'll delay the inevitable, and we will move the body to the side. Yes, that's what we'll do. Just collapse all that. Add that and move that over there, and then over here we'll also move it like so. Whoa. I actually like that a decent amount. Wait a minute, did I just figure something out? So, we can wiggle around now. That's wonderful. And then we'll do the same for body X, because I don't know what to do. I need to delay the inevitable. I need to delay my demise. I need to make you think that I'm good at this. I made the Y be side to side again. Why do I keep doing that? Okay, it's fine. It's fine. So you just don't do that yourself. We can though add the input settings now body XYZ. And that will hopefully move. Never mind. I was gonna say hopefully that would help move the hair around, but this hurts. This is painful to me. But at least now it moves on its own, so that's something. If that is the case, though, I'm gonna need to fix my little mess up there. I'm just gonna there we go. So here's our regular things. Except for that we're wanting to go over there. Does this even work? Okay, then body Y. Just gonna move that down a bit, or no. Gonna move that up a bit, I meant. I always get these mixed up. I don't know why, it's not that hard. So we got physics settings here. I'm not seeing anything move with the body Y though, so that's slightly concerning. I did make body Y a thing, right? Well, I keep messing up. It's almost as if I get nervous when there are people watching me. Anyway, not that there are that many people here. I think one actually just left. I think they joined and then I said, I keep messing up, and then they left because who wants to watch a tutorial where they keep messing up? But at least now you get to see my very real and very annoying mistakes. Anyway, we're gonna go to the mouth now. It's probably not gonna be my new one. I'm kind of just using this as an example because there have been people asking like, wow, that's so cool, how'd you do that? And I was like, well, I'll just show you. But, I probably shouldn't have made it look like a tutorial and should have made it look more like a watch me fail repeatedly until I eventually get it right, because that's kind of what's happening here. I mean, I guess it could kind of serve as a tutorial of what not to do, but I mean, I guess I've gotten pretty far, so it's not too bad. Wait a minute, did I just fix? No, I did not. Okay. I thought it had fixed itself. It had not fixed itself. I'm gonna need to figure that out. Anyway, I'm currently working on figuring out the mouth. So we've got that. We're slowly working our way towards it. Thank you for saying both of those things. At the beginning of the video I was trying to be, like, entertaining and loud, as YouTubers tend to be, but I'm not very good at that, so here we are. Let's see here. Got the inner mouth. Got mouth open, adding the points here. Why, thank you. Oh. Oops. Put it on the wrong one. Again. Okay, this is just going to be a closed mouth. I am closing it all the way, putting it really far up. Also fixing the small problem we had earlier with the mouth being visible when you turned your head, which for some reason can't happen anyway, so I don't know why I'm so worried about it. Mouth is closed. Actually, when it's fully open even, I'm gonna just move that in a tiny bit, and I might as well do that too. Then when it's all the way open, I'm gonna is this above or yeah, I'm gonna do that. Then when it's most of the way closed but not like all of the way, I'm just gonna do that. So it's just a tiny little there. Just a little there. So now with our mouth form, I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be more than just the 3, so I'm actually gonna mess with the lip mostly for this one. Mouth form, we're gonna double click there. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll just add 4 of them here. So this one is going to be like O, like an O sort of a shape. This looks more like one of those cat faces. Oh, yeah, like that. Yeah, so that looks kind of strange. This is supposed to be it's not supposed to look like that. It is not meant to look like that. What did I do to make this happen? Which is it you? It is you. How dare you? Alright. Let's see here. And stretch that one over there too. All the way up there. Yep. Okay. So that was just going to be kind of the regular face, the face that it's usually regularly making. This one's going to be kind of slightly sad looking, but not too sad looking, because this is going to be just kind of a slightly sad looking. Just ever so slightly disappointed. Kind of, you know. Don't mind the fact that the mouth has been totally open this whole time. I'm sure it won't change anything here. Hopefully. Well, I made it look good on this side. Why doesn't it look good on this side? That did not help. Yes, that looks nice. That's a nice kind of a saddish face. And then finally we've got the frown. We're turning that smile upside down, but not really, because then the lip would be weirdly shaped. Whoa, weirdly shaped. Okay. Oh, that was easier than expected. Now I've just got to recreate it on this side, and oh, that was also easier than expected. Yippee! I'm also going to shrink it down a little bit. And now I've got to expand these so that they cover up the spots that I kind of neglected there. There we go. I've got a sad cat child that is not happy. Honestly, the very happy one doesn't look all that happy, to be honest. It looks more honestly, I don't know. I don't know what this is meant, what emotion this is. So what I'm going to do instead is where are these dots? Okay, well, I don't think faces are meant to stretch like this, but I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it won't be any problem. I don't know who that is. Let me look it up real quick. Oh wow, those are detailed. The amount of detail in the drawing itself doesn't really change how detailed the actual the model will be. If you add a bunch of random lines all over this, well, I guess not random. If you add a bunch of lines, if I were to make the shading be like cross-hatching instead of just solid shading, and it were more detailed, it would still be about the same amount of easiness in modeling and rigging. I mean, obviously the drawing part would be a lot more difficult. It would take a lot longer. Really, it depends on the amount of moving parts. So, like, this is me going pretty quickly, and it's taken an hour and a half just to rig. So, I mean, it would probably take quite a while. I don't know exactly how long, because most of my models that I've made have been kind of rushed, because I'm just trying to make a bunch of designs, see which one I like the most, and then make a better version of that to use permanently. So I can't tell you exactly, but I can say something with a lot of moving parts would probably take, if you were going fast, it would probably take like 3 hours or something. At least, I'd say. This does take a while. Luckily, it's not the most boring of things in the world either, especially when you keep messing up like this. It gives you a bit more brain activity, I guess you could say. Not for sure about that though. I'm not completely certain because I'm not very experienced with this yet. I am still pretty beginnery. Well, I mean, messing up is a part of learning, so I am both learning and messing up simultaneously. Okay, I'm gonna try and figure out the ears now. I've never actually put ears on a character, but I have put antennas on a character, and they're pretty similar. So what I did with the other one was I used brows. I used the brows to kind of move them around as the instead of eyebrows, I put the antennas, and the antennas would go down when the eyebrows would have gone down. They would have gone up when the eyebrows would go up. So if you want to do ears, I'm assuming it would be pretty much the same. So I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna try that out. Right, so I'm gonna go on form here. Just go to my ears. Cat ears, brow form. I'm not even gonna bother with the. So the form is when it's angry. So our angry ears are gonna be down like. It doesn't look very good because I'm just doing it real quick, but like that, and then our really like happy surprised ears are gonna be like that, I think. And then for the right one, I'm just gonna do pretty much the same thing. Alright. Yes. Can do the same thing. angriness here. Not the best looking, but it's okay. It's also not being, not putting much effort into it. Well, I'm putting a decent amount of effort into it, but I'm not putting, like, the most amount of effort I've ever put into a project into it, so it's not, like, I'm not super upset about it looking mediocre. Let's see here, how does this look in the... Wrong one. Yes, very nice. Bit strange, but very nice. Let's make sure that our forms work. The very smiley one looks kind of strange, but it's alright. It's fine. Kind of creepy, to be honest. Just staring at you menacingly, tail wagging around, about to pounce probably. Like, you're about to die. Nope. I really do need to, I mean, this is pretty much a finished model. I just need to figure out how to make the head move around like I wanted it to. Maybe I just forgot to set up a setting. I'll add a new group. Got, I don't know, face? I'll just put face, because I don't even know if I'm... Add XYZ. I still don't know why it doesn't let me do the Y. But oh well. Why not? Is it? Okay. Cancel. Okay. There we go. Add. Ta-da. Nope. Okay. Figured that much. Still don't know why the face isn't rotating. It used to do that. Did that on my other models. Whatever. Who needs to turn your face when you can just not do that? I'm joking. I really do need to figure this out, don't I? I don't know what I did wrong here. I know it's something. I know what to do. I will open up a different one of my things. And here's my other one that works much better. I'll see what I did with it, and I can see what I did here. Okay, what did I do here? I don't see what I did different. That's the thing. I don't know what happened wrong. I wish there were like error messages that would let me see what I did wrong. What are you? Can I edit? No, I cannot. Neck, head tilt, head warp, face warp. And it's so many warps when I do that. Head tilt, body, we got body tilt, anchor, neck tilt, neck, head tilt, face grip. I can't take a break, I'm YouTubing. But fine, I'll have a drink of water just because I'm severely dehydrated. Not really, that was a joke, I'm not that dehydrated. Just slightly, just a little bit. Ha! Victory. I have water right on my desk. Breaths have been taken, and I am going back to it. Flicker, what did I do with you that is so different from the other one? Got neck, head tilt, head warp, face. No. Is it something to do with that? No. What? No. This is the part. Face warp. It's a bit strange looking from that angle, isn't it? That one too. It's just a little bit squished. Just a tiny bit, a tiny amount of squished faciness. Does look funny. that looks much better. Okay. And you still have those creepy soulless eyes. Gotta love them. But what is the matter with you is my question. Maybe if I put everything on here. Wait, oh. I didn't do that last time and I'm not doing it this time. Are you seeing something I'm not? Because I'm not seeing anything. I'm seeing the exact same thing, except this one's not working and that one is. I'm almost sure that it is. I'm certain that it's something so simple and obvious, and I'm gonna look back, I'm gonna rewatch this video, and I'm gonna be like, why in the world did I miss that? How did I miss that? That was so obvious and simple. I mean, it doesn't look too bad without the face turning, but it is still... It doesn't... It's not right. It doesn't look right. Having this move around a bit helps, but it's still... It's still not right. And when I move the sliders, it does work. I just can't do it like this. So maybe it's just something with the... I don't know. Well, I'll just make the eyes smile and stuff, and I will save, close the program, and open it. Turn it off and on again. Why did I never try that? That's always the answer. Yes, save. Oop. Okay, closing program. reopening program. Ignore my background. I keep forgetting to change it back to my YouTube one. And free version. Okay. Gotta wait a minute for the pop-up to show up. There we go. No. Open. And we've got tutorial cat person. Hopefully it works. Let's try this. It didn't work. At least nothing is missing though. Nothing's missing. It's saved correctly. That's good. And the hair's still wiggling around. So at least I got that part right. I'm gonna make the eyes do the eyeball things. Maybe it is something with the application. Face group, we got the eyes. There we go. And I smile. This is IL. There we go. A no smile, and we got smiley smile. Yeah, I'll have to redo it probably. I didn't want to have to because it took a while, but if I want it to work, then that's probably what needs to be done. Smiley eyes, check. IR also needs smile. Let's just set that there so I can see what it looks like. Whoop, wrong one. Close enough. We got IR open. Gonna do 3 of them. Close it half the way. The halfway closed eyes always look really funny. At least they kind of do sometimes. Not always, but sometimes they do. And then all the way closed. Or if I can just we go. Well, only a little bit intoxicated. I've only had 2 apple juices. Now we got IL open, and we got our halfway one, our mildly intoxicated one. And we got the all the way closed one, which is more like up again. Always do that. The eyes always move instead of being warped. Whoa, that one looks kind of strange. Ah yes, the mostly closed weird little line eyes. they're not completely the same. I'm gonna do mostly gaming stuff like I did before. I do need to come up with some new games to play because I've played most of the games that I currently own, or at least most of the interesting ones that would be video worthy. But I also make a lot of art. I'm considering rebranding. I don't really like the name Sample Gaming. I mean, it was made from a typo, and I mean, I don't hate it, but I don't know. I feel like I should change it. So I'm probably just going to be I'm going to be doing kind of a variety of things, but mostly just gaming and some art here and there, because those are two things that I enjoy and am okay at. And things that I would like to get better at doing, so having a YouTube focused around those two things would be pretty good. I might make like a separate channel for the art than from the YouTube for the gaming, so that they can be in their own separate places, and people that have subscribed for art don't have to watch me game as well. But I guess they could just not click on the gaming videos when they get recommended them, if that's the case. So, pretty much the answer is I haven't decided yet. I wasn't taking this very seriously at first, but I've got 200 subscribers now, so I'm thinking I should probably get a bit more, professional about it, that type of thing. That makes sense. My cat is on my desk and is trying to step on the keyboard, and I am certain she's going to delete everything. Yes, get down. Thank you. This cat. She's adorable and I love her, but she's obnoxious sometimes. Yes, I'm talking about you. Alright, anyway. Gonna redo the face stuff. Face group. Pop, pop. Put the eyes back to normal. Because... Now, where are they? Let the eyes be opened. And also get rid of the smiliness. There we go. Okay. So now that everything's back to normal, I'm actually going to put is the tail to normal too? Tail wiggle. Breath. Yes. Breath in the middle. Putting that there. Okay. I'm usually okay with her being around, but I don't want her to be walking around on the desk all over the place, because if she steps on my keyboard, she could delete everything or something, and I do not want that to happen. That sort of thing has happened more times than I would like to admit. Okay, X is side to side, Y is up and down. Oh, have a good day at work, or have a tolerable day at work, or however your work goes. May it be good. Good luck to you. Goodbye. See all your little smiley face reactions. They're very nice. Thank you for the little smiley face reactions. Shadow, get off the TV stand. You're gonna knock something over. You're gonna knock something expensive over. This is not a good place for you to be. Get down from there. Thank you. Thank you. Get out of this room, please. Okay. As much as I love her, the cat is no longer in the room. My chair's so squeaky. Okay, here we go. Things are looking up. I was at my grandma's house earlier today, and for like an early Christmas thing, and they started watching my videos. Like, everybody was watching my videos on the couch because my little sister wanted to show off. My big sister is a YouTuber, and it was so embarrassing. I appreciate the thought, but I can't keep doing that sort of thing. It's so emotionally taxing. Like, my entire family is probably judging me. I was talking about furries the other day on my video. So yeah, it's a slight embarrassment, but it's mostly fine. 'Cause I got a new subscriber. It was my grandma. Probably, I don't know, she seemed pretty interested. I'm thinking she's gonna subscribe. If she can figure out how, because she's not the most tech savvy of people. Here we go. Let's hope this works. Got modeling. It still isn't working. This better not be because I messed up all the way in the beginning. Oh man. That's annoying. Oh well. Gonna just face group and synthesize corners. Just cuz. Okay, so mine is not working exactly as I would have liked it to, but I'm still going to show you how to upload your thing to VTube Studio, because if yours is working properly, then you can upload it onto there, and you'll be able to face track and stuff. So, so you want to export for runtime. Export as MOC3 file. Make sure you've got these things checked. These I don't think you have to have checked, but all of this stuff I'm pretty sure is actually important, so have those checked off. I already have them checked off, but like, just make sure, double check, just because. Wait a moment. The physics settings wrong for face? Do I not have any physics? I don't have any physics settings for face. Okay, yeah, that's fine then. So, you just want to double check for that sort of thing. But yeah, I'm going to export that just. So, we got all this stuff. Just saving it into my downloads. And now I've got that in a separate window. I'm gonna open up VTube Studio. I'm actually gonna close out of Live 2D because I just now saved it, so I don't really need to worry about that. Close out of Live 2D and instead open up VTube Studio here. Make sure OBS is still running. Could be bad if it wasn't. Got our file explorer here. Alright, here's the last one I did.
There we go. It's tracking my face, kind of. I mean, it's not currently doing very well. Yes, I know. I know. See, this works pretty well. Got our thing here. It doesn't work that well for me because I don't have that high quality of a camera. I just found one in a box somewhere. But, you know, if you have a good camera and you have a good computer, you can probably do this no problem. Import your own model and open the folder. Once you've opened the folder here, you're going to want to, you've got this here, see, and you've got your downloads, here. We're just going to make a new folder, put the name, cat, person, just so you can keep track of it. Put this one in there, put that one in there, put that one in there, that one in there, and I'm pretty sure this one also needs to go in here. So just put all of those. That's the old one. That's the save from before, so I don't think we really need that. So we've got this folder in here now. Should be able to close that. And now, let's see, did I do it right? Okay. Maybe it needs a moment. Here it is, tutorial cat person. Yeah, sure, auto setup. Okay. And here it is. Yeah, so my tracking isn't that great, so it's kind of, you know, not doing anything right now. But it, see, you can change settings. Got it tracks your eyes. You can open your mouth and stuff, look around, lean to the sides a bit. Can't lean too much or else it'll go outside of the camera, but you know. So yeah, mine isn't working very well at the moment. Most of the time it works better than this, but yeah, this is pretty much how it would look once you got it done, except for the fact that the head is supposed to turn, which it is still not doing, which is kind of annoying, but it's fine. Anyway, that is the end of the video. I hope you learned some things. Hope you learned some new things about how to make your very own Vtuber model. And I certainly learned some things while setting this up and stuff. Such as, I am not as good at this as I thought I was. That's, yeah, that's its own slight problem. If you see any games on here that you think will be interesting, that you think I should play, I have played through Survivor's campaign of Rain World, but if you want me to play a different one, I am more than happy to. Got Pikuniku, Spore, Among Us, Wobble Dogs, all sorts of stuff. So go ahead and put suggestions if you want, or I can make more tutorials. I can make more art tutorials. I am slightly better at normal art than I am at these tutorials of the Vtuber thing. So if you have, I think I promised to draw eyes at some point, an eye tutorial. So if you want one of those, I can do that. I can make an eye tutorial, how to draw eyes in different styles. So yep, if you have any suggestions, just put them in the comments after the video's over, and I will see you next time.